Hey y'all, I'm Krystal. Welcome back to my Texas garden. Today we're back in the kitchen because I'm going to show you 3 more ways that you can harvest medicine from Goldenrod. Now, if you're new around here, welcome. And if you're all about gardening and living naturally, well, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to smash the bell icon so you're notified every time I post a new video. In today's video, we'll be making a tea, a tincture, and a vinegar. Now, if you missed any of my previous videos on Goldenrod, they'll be linked for you at the end of this video. Now, one of the easiest and quickest ways that you can harvest medicine from Goldenrod is to make a tea from it. Making Goldenrod tea is super easy. All you need is water and Goldenrod. Now, you can use either fresh or dried Goldenrod for the tea. If using fresh Goldenrod, you'll use 2 teaspoons per 1 cup of water. And if you're using dried Goldenrod, it's 1 teaspoon to 1 cup of water. Now, to make the Goldenrod tea, all you're gonna do is bring your water to a boil, add your plant material. I use both flowers and leaves. I don't use the stems. There's not much medicinal property to it, so I don't use the stems at all. After you add your plant material, you're gonna cut the heat and put a lid on it and let it steep for 20 minutes. After it's steeped out for 20 minutes, filter out all of the plant material. So after you strain all of the plant material out of it, this is what the tea looks like. And on its own, it's actually pretty good, but I like to sweeten mine with just a tiny bit of honey. It's got a really light, mild flavor. Now, in previous videos, we have talked about the medicinal properties of Goldenrod. But did you know that Goldenrod tea actually has more antioxidants and vitamin C than green tea? And it's a great anti-inflammatory. Now, you can use Goldenrod in many different tea blends. It's really, really versatile. However, I would not use Goldenrod in a nighttime tea blend since it is a mild diuretic and, well, it can keep you going to the bathroom all night long. Now, the more common way that Goldenrod is used is in a tincture form. So why would we use a tincture rather than just drinking tea? In tincture form, you're going to get a lot more medicine in a very small amount. Now, when we make tinctures, we use a neutral tasting alcohol. My choice is a 100 proof vodka. Now, you can use any 80 or 90 proof alcohol. You don't want to use anything less than 80 proof. Now, why do we use alcohol when making tinctures? Alcohol is a really great solvent for herbs. What it does is it pulls out different compounds and active ingredients in the plant material that aren't water soluble. Now, if you don't drink and you think a tincture might not be for you, I personally don't consider this drinking because you're literally taking a few drops and putting it under your tongue, and that's really it. And there are products that you can buy at the pharmacy that many of us grew up using, like NyQuil. NyQuil is 10% alcohol. Mouthwash, a lot of mouthwashes do contain alcohol. Again, even though I'm using an alcohol to make my tincture, I don't consider this drinking. The alcohol is strictly being used to pull the medicinal properties out of the plant material so that we can more easily take it. Today, I'm also going to be making an infused vinegar with the Goldenrod. Now, I do consume vinegar in a drink a couple of times a day, and I do it for health reasons. Now, just adding this Goldenrod into the vinegar will just increase those health benefits. I can also use the Goldenrod vinegar in salad dressings as well. Now, I personally like different choices when I'm taking things for my overall health. Now, let's get started on making the tincture and the vinegar. So what you're gonna need is the Goldenrod, and we're going to use both the flowers and the leaves. For the tincture, I'm using 100 proof vodka. Remember, you can use any alcohol as long as it's a minimum of 80 proof. I just prefer a neutral flavor. Now for the vinegar, I'm using a raw organic apple cider vinegar. I am going to be making both of these in quart-sized mason jars. And the only other tool that I would recommend is something to push the plant material down in the jar. Now for both recipes, I want to primarily use the flowers first. I'm not going to throw these out, y'all. I am going to hang them up and dry them for tea. Now that I've got everything cut up, what I'm going to do is just start packing my jars. So basically we're looking for kind of like a 1-to-1 ratio. So we're gonna pack this material in here. Just a little bit, not much. It's still rather loose in here. You can still, I could push down a lot more. I don't want to do that. You still want to be able to see the flowers and the leaves, and you want to be able to tell what is in this jar. So now we're just going to pour our alcohol in here. Now we want the vodka to completely cover all of the plant material. It's okay if you have things float up to the top. It's going to happen. So make sure that you label what this is. It's really important to label this, mostly so you know what's in the jar. Now you're gonna have to shake this every single day. So you're just gonna come through and give it a nice shake every single day. And that's gonna help to pull the medicinal properties out of the plant material. So you wanna put this in a place that is out of direct sunlight, but in a place that you're gonna remember to shake it. So in making both the tincture and the vinegar, we're going to pack our jar to just a little over 3/4 of the way full, okay? And then we're simply going to add, in this case, I'm adding my vinegar. Okay, again, you're gonna have floaties come to the top. Perfectly fine, perfectly normal. Nice and tight. We're gonna label it. And just like the tincture, we're gonna come in every day and shake that. Again, shaking this will help the compounds in the plant material release into the vinegar and into our alcohol. Now y'all, regardless of how you feel about having alcohol in the house, I highly recommend that you stockpile a couple of these large bottles of 100 proof vodka. The reason why I suggest that is because you honestly don't know when you might be able to get your hands on some free medicine. And it's just much easier to have these big bottles on hand so that you can gather your plant material and get it processed into the alcohol while the plant material is still very, very fresh. So we'll come back in December and strain out the plant material, and I'll show you guys the finished product, and we'll also talk about how you can use these. To see more great videos just like this one, go ahead and click right here, and I'll meet y'all over there.